dude. Oh, yay. I know you guys are seeing this. Hey everyone, it's Kendall from Ginger's Maiden Urban Garden. So today, if you see these three grow bags, it's actually time to finally harvest our Yukon Gold potatoes. We got these potatoes from Ellis. They were the potato slips, potato bulbs, whichever you would call them, but I don't know, I just call them slips. And it's actually July 5th today. Yesterday was 4th of July, and we did a few fireworks and everything. And these past couple days, actually almost a week now, I've been sick. I don't know what it is. I went and did, went to the doctor and took all the tests and everything came back negative, so it was kind of interesting. But these potatoes have been in here for 90 days. We bought these potato bags in March, and after looking, because I would keep forgetting that these potatoes take roughly about 90 days, and March, April, May, June, that's already 3 months, and then now we're in July. So now it's time to harvest these. You can see, so excuse me for how I look, because like I said, I've been sick, and it's just trying to do a little bit in the garden, as we can, as I can, my husband, everything, because he's sick too. But as you can see right here, this used to be where the leaves were of the potatoes, and I actually clipped all of those because you could tell that they were all getting some form of disease and blight. And I did some research, and actually I guess you could say these are container gardening in a way. And I actually did some research, and it said to go ahead and clip those off so you don't end up getting any more disease than what you already have. So I did that, and it won't, I think it said that it may like stop it from growing the potatoes, but if it does that, it'll just toughen up that outer layer, because we actually ended up harvesting one of our grow bags, because we actually had 4 grow bags of potatoes, and we ended up harvesting one of those. And I remember I ended up cooking some of those potatoes that night, and when I was in the kitchen and I was like rubbing them and everything and trying to like clean the outer layer, like that skin was just like coming off, and I didn't mind it. It was thin anyway, so it really didn't bother me. But we are going to go ahead and start harvesting these potatoes. And it's July, it's hot outside. I'm in Louisiana, down south, North Louisiana, zone 8B, but it is still hot. It says right now it's 88 degrees outside, and I'm just gonna say false because it's freaking hot. So it's just really humid, and plus just me not feeling well. I'm a little better, but I'm just trying to take it slowly. That's why I'm in the shade and everything else. So just trying to make sure that I stay hydrated. I have my water and my lemon, and let's get to it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start with our first grow bag. Trying to figure out exactly how I'm gonna do this. I'm trying to remember if last time, if we just went and like straight up poured them all the way out. But with these, you can see that there is a window. I really don't know. I guess it's so you can kind of see what's happening, what's going on there. I'm not seeing anything, but I guess we can try to do it this way and just see what kind of happens. You can see some of those roots in there. And we may not get a lot out of this. It's not a big deal, but it's just something for us to harvest. And if we end up not getting much out of this, out of any of them, and like I said, like if we don't get a bunch out of this, it's not like a deal breaker or anything, because we really don't eat a whole bunch of potatoes. Normally, if we eat potatoes, it's I'll mash some up, or we'll do baked potatoes, even if they're small ones. I'll cut them up into little, not necessarily cubes, but kind of like cubes, and then we'll have them, and I'll put them in the oven, and I'll bake them and everything. I very rarely, I don't think I ever put them on the grill. I just kind of feel weird about putting them on the grill because I'm actually not someone that cooks potatoes or like cooks any form of meat and like cooks it real slow. I don't know how to do that. I've never done it before. So I don't really dabble in that. So I think instead what I'm going to do right now is just tip this dude over and see what we can get out of it. Dude. Oh, yay. I know you guys are seeing this. Nice. Dude, we literally started with a small one like this. And we've gotten guys like these. Awesome. And I guess these still could have grown a little bit longer. This is only bag one. But, and all this dirt, I'm actually repotting my strawberries. I'll have to go back and see if y'all have seen them, but they've been in, we've had those strawberries for about 3 years. They haven't been in a really big pot. We haven't given them like, see, like this is where that stem was in the leaves. And look at these little dudes. Oh, look at those little guys. Dude, this is awesome. See, this is why I like gardening. Like you may not get, you know, a crazy harvest or don't know what happened right there. Or you may not want it to look how you want it to look, but it is so cool knowing that, like, dude, I grew this. We grew this. My husband, that is a big potato. That's as big as my hand almost. That's freaking awesome. And this is one bag. I don't know how much more there is. If there is any. Yeah, it's kind of looking like the rest of this is dirt. So maybe they could have been in there longer, but we did grow a much smaller variety. You know, we grew the Yukon Gold potatoes. They don't get very big. We didn't grow, you know, russet potatoes or anything. So I'm not upset with it. And that was only bag one. I'm sure if we would have like put these in the ground or something, we probably would have had like a crazy amount. But dude, so this is one bag, one grow bag of potatoes. Look how cute they are, these little dudes. And the great thing about this is that if we want to keep one of these potatoes, let's say this one, and we never eat this, and it ends up just hanging out and eventually growing a sprout, we can use this next year for next year's growing season. We can use the same potatoes to grow them, you know, eventually get new ones. But that's the first bag. Look at those. And these are pretty big. Like that, it's a big dude there. Let's keep going. These guys. So you guys, we had 4 grow bags. We've already harvested 1. And this is the potatoes that we got out of 3 of them. It may not look like a lot, but these are in grow bags. They're not in the ground. We probably could have started these a little bit earlier. Sorry, it's hot. But anyone can grow potatoes. We literally put those potato slips in the grow bag. We read the instructions on it, which is literally put dirt in there. We probably might have put a little bit too much dirt in there, and we probably didn't put them as deep as we should have, the potato slips or the potato bulbs. But this was our first year. But we had 3 grow bags. Y'all see those grow bags right there? Like, they're not what, they're probably 2.5 feet tall. They're not that big. And it has little windows on it. I guess if we would have grown them, if we would have probably planted them a little bit deeper originally, the bulbs or the slips, we probably would have seen like the potatoes in the bottom to where we could actually see them in the window. But we got these, like I said, we read the instructions on them. And right now I'm feeling like, I know it's hot outside and I don't feel that good, but like inside, this is making me feel good. And I feel like I'm getting teary-eyed. But it's like, anyone can do this. It just, so many people talk about how they don't have a green thumb, they have a black thumb, but I can't tell you how much like gardening gives me. And it just makes me feel like, what is wrong with me? Is this part of being sick? It like creates a bond for my husband and I. You know, my kids, we can do a little bit of things. They may not always be interested in something. But just like the other day, my dad told me that every time he sees like me post something, and here goes my ADD, I'm just going off talking about stuff. He says every time he sees me post something about gardening or watches my videos, he always thinks about my grandpa Bishop. And gardening, my dad did it, and my grandpa Bishop did it also. And my grandpa Bishop, for a little bit, we lived in kind of right outside of Mount Ida, Arkansas. And it was, I guess you consider it Pencil Bluff, Arkansas. And that's actually where the gardening like happened for me in my life and in my family. Because I remember going out there with my grandpa and getting a wheelbarrow, and we would husk the corn right there outside in the wheelbarrow, and then we'd dig it, bring it inside. We'd be going fishing, and we would catch, you know, bass and catfish, and we had ducks and everything, and we would pick fresh blackberries right there by the pond. And it was just, gardening is a big thing. And now that I'm older, I realize why my grandpa did it and why a lot of people do it. But for some reason, I blubbered on about that. But okay, like I said, these, we literally got them from Ellis. Read the instructions on it, and we had those 4 grow bags, and this is 3 of them, and we got these potatoes out of it. We didn't do anything extra. The only fertilizer we used was our rabbit poop, because we have meat rabbits, so we actually ended up saving some of the rabbit poop. We ended up spreading the rabbit poop like around the garden, and we use our rabbit tractor. We push it around the yard, and we end up using that in the garden also as fertilizer, and it's really good for the yard and the garden and all of our plants. And I think that's all we did. Any fertilizer we did use, we put some of the rabbit poop on top, and anytime it rained, it would go through. Anytime we would water them. And I will say that I don't think this might have helped us get a little more potatoes, but we did not water them probably as much as we should have. I don't know why I didn't even think about it, but this year has been like, you know, 2020 was the pandemic, and then now it's 2021. So right now it's still a little bit of catch up with everything, and just, we're still slowly getting back to like normal. But this is something that you could literally, if you live in an apartment, if I have any people on here that live in an apartment or a rent house, these do not have to be, if you put them in the grow bags, these do not have to be in like, they don't have to be on the ground, like in the grass. You can have them, you know, on your patio as long as you get some sun, and you can grow your own potatoes.
Mommy, can you
and everything. All right, now that we have harvested these potatoes, last video I did a little, I guess you could say garden tour of the backyard. I just kind of gave y'all an update on everything. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how our front garden is looking, all of our peppers and all that good stuff. So let's go. So do y'all remember those sunflowers that I started in a pot and I was like, what did I do? That's these. And I did not know that they would end up actually having multiple flowers, sunflowers. And once they started kind of dying back like that, I really was not sure what I was supposed to do. And now I've kind of, yeah, go away. Now I've kind of learned that you just, hey, dude, can you like get on somewhere? Can you go? I'm in your personal space now. You're in my space. Go. But you kind of just leave them alone and they'll dry out. And I'll show y'all the ones by the mailbox. You can see that I snapped the tops off some of these, and I really need to weed right here. The only reason I haven't is normally when we mow, we don't always weed eat because it's hot. But actually with the sunflowers, you let them dry out, and unless y'all have some tips, I've been just leaving them like this, other than the 3 that I snapped off and I gave them to the chickens saying, oh, they would eat them, blah, blah, blah. But I guess there's not enough, they're not dry enough yet. But y'all can see those seeds in there. Those are the sunflower seeds. But if y'all have any tips, would you leave these out here to dry, the sunflowers like still on the stem, or would you take them off and let them dry inside? And then we have our pepper. This is where our potato bags were. I think my husband said he's actually going to use the potato bags now for some beans or something else. And now we have all of our peppers. And here we have a ghost pepper. You can see we actually have a few of those. And this year, I know I told y'all that we normally don't grow peppers and stuff in the front yard, but dude, it has been so much better growing peppers, because I'll show y'all in our raised beds like how much we're actually getting. It's crazy. And if anyone can let me know, have you ever had a tomato plant growing with your Caribbean peppers? Because do I just leave it? Apartment wants to leave it because what if it's spicy? You know? Sorry if I keep further up. So that's those, and of course I don't have all the labels for them. So oh well. And this is, I remember telling y'all about our black pearl pepper. The black pearl peppers, it's weird. They actually take a while to grow. This one looks like it's a little sunburned for some reason. But remember I told y'all how the leaves will kind of look black? And I guess when you think they're kind of like black and purple, a little bit variegated, but it takes a while. And then once it gets bigger and they actually start producing, like I said, like it's like smaller than my pinky fingernail, the peppers, some of them will get about that big, but they're literally like a shape of pearls. Oh, there's a little pepper coming up right there. I hope y'all can see it. It's so bright out here, I can hardly tell what's happening on here. Okay, and like I said, weeds because when we're mowing. And then this, if y'all remember, this is my chamomile. I've never grown chamomile before. Jess at Roots and Refuge, I keep saying Jessica Rhodes. I have no idea why. I think it's just because of her. I watch her and Justin Rhodes, and I don't know why. Maybe I maybe I think it just flows together. But this is my chamomile. I ended up buying these already started from probably Ellis, and I've been drinking chamomile regularly, kind of at night. when Jess talks about it, how it like soothes her, and, you know, it like just relaxes her whenever she gets ready for bed and everything. It really does help. I normally do, I bought it at the store right now, already bagged, but I normally do about 2 tea bags of the chamomile tea and a cup of boiled water. I do not have a kettle pot or any of that, so I actually just put the water in the microwave and heat it up, and then I put the tea bags in there. And then my dad has honeybees, and then I get his honey, and right now it's the crystallized honey. And I know technically I'm supposed to go and like heat it up a whole bunch to where it's not as thick, but I like it that way. So I'll do about a teaspoon of that and put it in there with it. And so all of this I will eventually harvest and dry and figure out exactly what I need to do to make my own chamomile tea. And then I have mint. You guys, I'm just now remembering, I have mint. And I can put this in my tea. Heck yes. Okay, I've never grown mint before, but I think it's very odd how it's attaching itself like this. Like, I feel like it's a little weird. But that's all my mint. I'm kind of starting to think that when this flowers and it's probably going to reseed in here, that this whole tub is probably going to be full of mint next year. That's what I'm starting to think is probably going to happen. And then I did have lavender, one of the two. And then I have another tomato plant. Oh well. Then I have my sweet potatoes. One that I started inside. This guy needs to be watered. You can tell by the leaves. I'm not sure when I'm going to harvest this. I think these take a little bit longer. I was looking it up last night. I was researching a lot of stuff. But then, you know how it is when you research something, next thing you're researching how to talk like a dolphin or something, and you get lost. And then I have our blackberries, as you can tell. Most of these constantly get eaten by the birds. We could probably get netting, but we haven't. And we have these 3, and look at how like weird these guys. I've been trying to get them back in the cage so they don't look all funky, but they are just sprawled all out here, as you can tell. And then here are our raised beds. Like I was telling you guys, these are our cayenne peppers. I have never had our cayennes this big before. Most of these you can tell that they're just leaving. We're leaving them, and most of them will dry out, but we'll take some inside. And then we have our sriracha peppers. We have harvested a lot of srirachas. That's why it looks kind of bare. I had a sriracha pepper last night with my burger. I was grilling burgers last night, and I went and just cut it down the middle and then put it on the grill. Let it char on both sides. And then, I think these are the Carolina Reapers. And we've already harvested a bunch of these. And we're still getting more in the red. And that's what I was saying last year. All of these were in the backyard. And I think the big thing is because of like, our neighbor just started mowing, so hopefully he can still hear me. But I think because of like just how the wind is and how these like move and blow more, we're getting a lot more pollination of them. And then these are our banana peppers and more peppers. Okay, I have to run inside real quick, but as you can see how hot it is. But can y'all see these guys too? Our sunflowers at the front. I think I showed y'all that I planted these, and I actually got them. I transplanted them out of that pot, and I did not think it was going to turn out well because they were all wilted, but they're turning out pretty okay. The main reason, Mommy's going down here. The main reason that I wanted to do sunflowers right here at the front of the house, I was like, oh, I'll put them there, I'll get a bunch of shade. You got to plant more than 3, just so you guys know. So I was like, maybe I can do okra there. I'm thinking about doing that. And to show y'all also, you can see our cattle panels there. So we got a little too many weeds right there, and I actually started weeding it out the other day. And when my husband mowed the yard the other day too, he just mowed everything down. So I was like, oh, so I kind of like weeded for no reason, but oh well. So that's how everything is looking right now. but I am about to go ahead and refill these grow bags. My husband did tell me that he does want to plant some beans in the grow bags. So we're gonna do that. And I'm also gonna take some of this dirt and I'm gonna take it into the backyard and put it in a new container. I'm gonna, like I told y'all, I'm going to go and put my strawberries in a new container. So I'm about to do that, but I just wanted to show y'all our potato harvest that we ended up having and just some of our front garden. So I will catch you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching. If you did, hit that like button if you liked it. Subscribe. Let me know what content y'all want to see, and y'all can continue to grow with me as I grow my garden, and I can give y'all some knowledge and y'all can give me some knowledge too. So see you guys on the next one. Bye.